Live ご覧の皆様、こんにちは。ワルターアワーです。
世界屈指の室内オーケストラ、ハイドンフィルハーモニー。多くの国際音楽祭に招かれ、唯一無二の響きと称されるオーケストラ。牽引するのはバロックバイオリンの鬼才エンリコ・オノフリ。そしてソリストとしてウィーンフィルハーモニー管弦楽団首席フルート奏者ワルター・アウアーさんが出演。今回はワルターさんに来日コンサートの見どころをお聞きします。
At the age of 6, I started with recorder, playing the recorder, as I think every kid in my age in this time in the 70s, 1970s did. And it was important for my parents, for us, for everybody of us to learn an instrument. And so I played the recorder from 6 to 10. And when I switched from primary school to junior high school, I also changed the instrument. And I had a very, very famous recorder teacher from the countryside. I'm very from the countryside. And so my mother asked him, what should Walter play as next instrument? And he recommended the flute. He thought he saw such a talent, and in fact he was also conducting an orchestra in this area with no flutes, and so he knew, of course, if I would learn flute, he would have an instrument player in the next years. And so exactly it happened. So we followed his advice, and I was open to everything. And it was very normal. I really liked my teacher, and he advised me to learn the flute, and that's why I'm flutist. Good question. Difficult question, because it's very complex how every instrument appears to your ears, to your heart, to your emotions. Of course, for me, flute is very, very special, because what I really love on this instrument are a few things. The first is that we really produce the sound with with my own breath. And it's very simple system, because we don't have a mouthpiece, we have nothing in between us and the sound. We're just blowing the air to a head joint, and it's very direct. So it comes very direct from my heart, I would say, and it's also very direct, connected the air to the music and to the sound. And so for me, it's a very, even very transcendent and very, very unique relation between the sound, what I'm producing, and the moment I'm making music in. And so I really love this quality, and this very, very special, because the sound every day is different. I'm every day different. So the sound really directly changes with me in the small things. Of course, we have a certain instrument with certain quality, but our body is the most, like singers, the most important instrument. So our resonance, what we are doing, what we are building, how we are creating the sound. And so it's never boring, and it's always interesting, and somehow always new. I think the first, you have really to love what you're doing, because you have to dedicate more or less your life to this profession. It's not possible to do it half. You have to be full in it or not, absolutely not. So first you have to dedicate, you have to love what you're doing, and you have, of course, it's a handcraft, so we have to learn many things in a very simple, certain way, how to learn to play an instrument. And at the top of it, the last 5% are the artistic impressions and the artistic ideas and what we are creating next to our handcraft. And to love what you do, to really go into it, to spend your life with it. But I can say it's so much coming back. It's for you, for yourself, for your personality, for your heart, for your soul, for your life. And so as long the balance is good and well between what we are giving and what's coming back. So I think it's wonderful. But you have to find out during your studying or your way if you are on the right path. Yeah, I think you will find out on the way if you are right, and then you will see. But anyway, it's a wonderful, wonderful profession. I would be another person. I would be another flutist, and I think I would sound different if I would not be part of the Vienna Philharmonic Orchestra. So if you're young, you enter the orchestra, and I see it many, many times. We hire great, talented musicians, really. But what you hire is, in fact, the talent, and that's what your idea, what they are going to become. Nobody is already is ready yet. So in the next 5 years, in the first 5 years, the orchestra is more or less shaping the musicians, and after 5 years, if they are willing to let this influence to their heart and to their soul even, then you become a new musician, because you are always surrounded by the beauty and the quality of the orchestra, the quality of the sounds. Every day we work in opera with the world's best singers, so we have so many world-class influences in our impression, in our ears, in our knowledge, in our experience, so that this all together is shaping you as a musician. And it's after years and years, and it's never ending. You are always learning. It's a lifelong learning process, and I can say it's the most beautiful thing to be shaped by the Vienna Philharmonic Orchestra. If you play so many concerts all the day, or your operas and concerts, and you have, of course, there are so many impressions, but there are certain, of course, moments or concerts where really you will never forget in your life. When I was studying, I was in the Academy of the Berlin Philharmonic Orchestra, and I will never forget maybe to work with Claudio Abbado there. Or to have the chance, when I came to Vienna, he had really impressions, especially with Nicolas Harnoncourt. We had concerts, and we had sometimes opera evenings. I would have to rethink if I would have to count or have to make a list of the most important impressions I had, because there are so many. This is such a rich life full of music. Yeah. And there are so many good and less bad impressions. It's most important. The most are connected to conductors, to moments, to symphony, to performances. And even when I'm playing as soloist, on special occasions, in wonderful halls with nice audience, or it's also I will remember long time after. It's the most important to go to the concert live, to listen to the music in the hall on this day, in your mood. It's because it's never the same. It's always unique. You will always have a unique moment. You cannot repeat it, because you will be in another mood. The orchestra or the solist will be. What you hear will be different. It's not. You will have touching moments. You will be happy or sad or have memories. And because music is so emotional, and this goes directly to your heart, and that's what's really the most important part of it. And orchestra, the Haydn Philharmonie, of course, I don't know the conductor, the violinist personally, but I know this orchestra, and I know the history of the orchestra, and I know the style of the orchestra, and I really know that we are playing music as we are speaking the same language. So we are thinking classical music in the same way, and I'm very much looking forward to perform with them, the Mozart concerto, because I think it will be very nice. Really, very much looking forward to perform for you with the Haydn Philharmonie in this year in June, and I really recommend, highly recommend, please come to the concert, because you will listen it live. You will have a wonderful experience of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, including Haydn and Mozart concertos, and you will have an evening full of the best music of Viennese classical style.
モーツァルトのフルート協奏曲やベートーベンの運命など、世界が認めるオーケストラのサウンドを体感できるチャンスです。ぜひ生の演奏をお楽しみください。ご視聴ありがとうございました。これからもおすすめライブエンターテインメント情報をどんどんご紹介していきます。ぜひコメント、チャンネル登録よろしくお願いいたします。